When anxiety kicks in because the leads start to slow down, our immediate knee-jerk reaction is to lower our price because we think if it's cheaper, it'll be easier to sell and get more clients, right? But then that immediately backfires hard because you start attracting low commitment people that say it's too expensive, and then you're annoyed because you already lowered it more than what you actually want to charge. Meanwhile, those high-paying clients, they just scroll right past you because they don't believe a $97 fix is going to fix a $10,000 problem. In this video, I'm going to break down why low prices instantly kills your chances with premium buyers, the buyer psychology behind big spenders and what they're really looking for, and how to structure your pitch so you can confidently sell your high-ticket coaching packages. If you're a content creator and you sell your knowledge or coaching, this video is going to erase your fear of what you should actually be charging. The reason low prices repel premium clients is because they don't see cheap as a benefit. They see it as a high risk of failure. The amount people are willing to pay is based on the amount of pain that problem brings into their life. If you fell down and scraped your knee, the most you're probably willing to invest in is like a 5-cent Band-Aid. You probably wouldn't even go to the doctor's office because you don't want the bill. If you had to have potential life-saving brain surgery, you're emptying your savings. So then our thought patterns change depending on how desperate we are for a solution. Would you even risk shopping for discounts on Groupon for a brain surgeon if you had to go into surgery? There's just too much at stake. So when people have a big problem, they expect the solution to have a big cost. When we throw a low price at them and it doesn't meet their expectations, it immediately triggers an alarm in their mind. There's no way fixing something this big can cost so little. What's wrong with it? Now they start to look for little patterns of why this wouldn't work for them, and their thought starts to spiral. At times, we'll even make things up in our mind just to reinforce a negative thought that we have. Because when we focus on the negatives, all the positives blur out. But it's also vice versa. If you focus on the positives, all the negative blurs out. As soon as they've triggered something negative in their mind because they see the low price, their mind is now going to do everything to reinforce that thought. Then they're just going to automatically dismiss that your thing even works for them, because big problems come with big price tags. And even if the situation wasn't that dramatic, it still applies. If I were to put two identical plates of sushi in front of a group of people, one plate had a $1 price tag on it, the other one had a $100 price tag. Now, most of the people are going to gravitate towards the $1 one because most people are price shoppers. But a select few are going to go over to the $100 one and not even bat an eye at the cheaper alternative because they're premium buyers. And in their mind, they're going to be like, what is wrong with this? Why is it so cheap? It's probably going to make me sick. I'm not even risking it. But here's the wild part. I'd have to get 100 people to buy the $1 plate just to equal getting one person to pay for the $100 plate. Think about how much time, money, marketing, and resources it would take to get 100 cheap people versus one person that sees value in not being cheap. So if we know low prices scares away premium clients, what we need to know next is what they care about that actually excites them to buy. We're going to dive into that next, but if you found this helpful so far, make sure you hit subscribe and leave a comment below what you've learned so far in buyer psychology. If we want to attract them, we have to get into the mind and the psychology of a premium buyer. Premium buyers care more about what they get in return than what it costs them to get it. The biggest mistake ever is trying to target a high-tier market using low-tier marketing strategies. Let's compare two different brands. When I say Walmart, what do you think of? Discounts, price slashes, not the best quality. Do you think that people go to Walmart because they're looking for the best of the best? The entire mentality around Walmart is to get a deal regardless of the quality. Then you see a return line that wraps around the entire building because they're still unsatisfied. When I say Gucci, what do you think of? Expensive, high-end, exclusive. People don't buy Gucci because it's cheap. In fact, it wouldn't be desirable if it was. People literally pay for Gucci because it is expensive. You've probably met both of these types of people. Have you ever complimented somebody on their jacket or shoes and they're like, thanks, I got it at a discount. It was super cheap, great deal. and then you complimented someone else and they talk about how expensive something was. Low ticket buyers, their ego is wrapped around how much money they saved. High ticket buyers, their ego is wrapped around how much money they spent to get it. So you see how trying to use discounts would deter a high ticket mindset. Premium buyers have different mindsets. They have different motives. They value ROI, return on investment, status, self-worth, speed, and ease. Now we just have to change our business strategy from decrease in cost to increase in worth. It's more effective to focus our offer to give them things they value more than money. And here are some of the things they care about so that you can increase the value of your offer. Something that increases their status, how other people perceive them, and also how they feel about themselves. People don't buy a Rolex to tell the time. They literally do it because it increases the way they feel and how other people see them. It's a status symbol. And Rolex's entire marketing is creating exclusivity. If you walked into a Rolex store right now, even if you had the money in your bank and a credit card, you could not buy a Rolex unless they wanted to sell it to you. And that's the second thing. They care about exclusivity. They want to be able to have the things that most people can't have. If everybody could buy a Lamborghini, it wouldn't be a statement, it would just be a car. If you make your offer not affordable to most people and not everyone can get in, that's what high ticket buyers want to be a part of. Also, speed. People who have money care more about time. They've solved the financial stresses. They know they can't get their time back. So the more that somebody can get while spending the least amount of time, that's what's valuable to a high ticket buyer. Think about private jets. They decrease the time of travel. You don't have to go through TSA. You don't have to take off your belt, your jacket, wait, layovers. You just hop on a jet and go. It's like time traveling. So find ways that you can get your clients the results while condensing the time it takes to get it. And here's a bonus ninja strategy for you too. If they can see a win immediately, the faster the win, the more motivated they are to stick till the end. So think of a way you can put in your coaching or consulting, a way to get them a win immediately. Then finally, ease of getting result. If they can get what they want with less effort, that is also more valuable. That's why liposuction costs more than a gym membership. It removes the time and the amount of work they have to put in to get the result that they want to. Liposuction is instantly, they go to sleep, they wake up, and they're less heavy. Gym takes a grind, and it takes effort, and it takes time. That's why a gym membership is $20 a month, and liposuction is thousands of dollars. Overall, premium buyers buy when they feel like what they're getting is above average. They don't want to be associated with average and most people. If you can create that distinction, that's what's valuable to them. Which brings us to the next very important part. How do you present your offer to make high-level buyers connect with your offer instantly? This is how you structure the pitch for your high-ticket offer. Whether you do this on a call, a webinar, on stage, the biggest mindset shift you have to have is you're not selling you or your product. You are selling their desire. Everyone thinks about themselves, even us when we sell. We talk about our products, the features, the things that we made because we worked hard and took a long time to do it. But they literally don't care. They don't care how much effort you put into it. They don't care how much of you they get. They care about what is in it for them. So we have to cater to their desires in order to get paid, not our own. Biggest things, avoid talking too much about features, literally the deliverables that they get. So courses, group coaching, one-on-one sessions. It may seem like that's what they want, but really that's just the method of your delivering the transformation. And that's not what they really truly care about. But if you put your attention on that, that's all they're going to be able to focus on. And they're going to be like, well, in my mind, that's not that valuable to me. Those just don't have a high perceived value in their mind. They don't want to watch videos, sit in meetings. That just takes time and effort. And the steps just sound like hard work. If you were to get your kitchen renovated, wouldn't you want to know what the end result is like? It's going to be beautiful. You're going to feel like it's a whole new house. You're going to cook all these meals and be excited to do it. That's why you want a kitchen renovation. What if somebody tried to sell you and say that there's going to be contractors in and out? You're not going to be able to access your fridge for the next 3 weeks. That just sounds like hell. That's not what people want. That's not why they pay for that. They want the end result. Yet this is how most people sell. You can be like not most people, and you do this by always tying everything to a life benefit after your solution. And they need to see a roadmap to make it feel like it's possible. First thing, find 3 major milestones they will accomplish or things they will learn along the way. I'll use content creation as an example if you teach that. Let's say we pick 3 things: speaking with confidence on camera, editing, and filming. You want to take each of those sections and break them down by presenting it this way. First, talk about your unique method to accomplish the goal, why it's different than what they're doing now, how it will cost them more if they don't fix the problem. And you can use an analogy that's easy for them to understand to drive home the point. And also, you want to call out the excuse that you know is happening in their mind as you're talking through this. I'll use speaking with confidence as an example. Once you've done the breakdown for each of those pillars, then you want to talk about what benefits they're going to see when they're done working with you. So if it's making content, what are the direct benefits they get from that skill? Example, it's hard to ever go broke again if you know how to gain the attention and trust from complete strangers. And no matter what market you decide to be in, you have the skill to always do that. You'll be able to persuade people to pay you even when you're sleeping because those videos are working for you and you don't physically need to be there. Then you want to tie it to how it benefits their life. Content creation will help you be financially free and be a role model for your kids to show them that these types of things are possible. Think of the time you'd get back in your personal life if you didn't have to physically be at a job all the time. What creative things could you accomplish if you had that mental and that physical freedom? After selling 7 figures worth of coaching, this is just the way that I found to break down your offer to make it really enticing. Again, find the 3 major skills you help them with, break those down by your unique method, why it's different, how much it's going to cost them if they don't fix it, use analogies to drive it home, and call out the excuses that are happening in their mind. Then talk about the benefits that they get directly for having that skill when they're done working with you. Then tie all those benefits to how it affects their life as a whole. Here's a bonus thing. You do have to tell them your deliverables, your one-on-ones, your group courses, just so that they know. But even if you talk about those things, make sure you still tie it to a benefit to their life. So instead of saying you get a course with like 18 modules and 500 hours of videos, you can say something like you get a course to be able to watch it at your own time and at your own pace because I know that you have a busy schedule and now you can just pull it up whenever. Plus then, if you didn't understand something, you can keep rewatching it until that lesson actually sinks in and makes sense to you. So always frame it from a position where they benefit. If you want to learn how to pump steroids into your business and get premium clients faster, check out this video right here, where I explain how to repel broke leads and attract the high-paying ones. Subscribe if this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.